Okay, so today I'm going to explain how to do something called text coding. Text coding is a way of marking information on a piece of paper, on nonfiction text, that I like better than highlighting, because when you highlight something, you're just marking everything and you're just making a bunch of yellow smears on your paper, and that to me doesn't help me, because later on I don't remember why I highlighted something. Did I highlight it because I had a question about it for later? Did I highlight it because this was important for my project? Or did I highlight it because I thought it was cool and I wanted to share it with somebody? I can never remember later on. So rather than do that and forget later why I did it, instead I use something called text coding. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, the article I have is, it's a mallard duck, and this is just a page from a book that I photocopied for you. And it says, the mallard duck is easy to spot. As with most birds, the male or drake is more colorful than the female hen. Drake mallards sport emerald green feathers on their heads. Hens have brown feathers that blend in with their environment. Mallard ducks are dabbling ducks. This means that they dip their heads underwater to find food. They eat seeds, plants, and insects. In spring, mallards build their nests along the banks of the pond. These nets are often hidden inside of a bunch of tall grass or cattails. Okay, so now that I've read it once just to kind of get the gist of it, I am going to reread it and look for the information I need for my project. So the first thing I'm going to look for is important information. So I'm going to look for a couple things that I think are important that I'm going to include in what I'm going to write later on. Let's see, I'm going to, things that I think are important. The mallard ducks are dabbling ducks. And this means that they dip their heads underwater to find food, so I'm going to underline all of that. So that is important because that describes how the ducks eat. So I have underlined it and put a capital letter I next to that. Okay. Then I'm going to look for information that I have questions about, that I need to know more about later. So I'm going to underline the word cattails, because I don't know what a cattail is. Does anybody, do you know what a cattail is? So I'm going to underline cattails and put a C next to it. Sorry, not a C, a question mark. Okay, so, because that's a word that I need to look up later so that I know what it means. Okay, and then I'm going to underline information that I think is cool, that I would like to share with a friend later. So I think it's cool that the drake mallards are a different color than the hens. So I'm going to underline those two sentences, and I'm going to put a capital letter C next to it. Okay, so this is my information that's important. That means I'm going to include it in my paper. This is my word that I have a question about, or something that I need to know more about later. And this is my information that I just think is cool. That's kind of cool. I want to share that with somebody later. Okay, so that's how you do text coding. So I generally like to do this with internet articles that I print off, or with photocopy pages of textbooks, or with articles that the teacher has given me in class to read that are not part of a book that I have to give back. Because if it's something I can write on, I will write on it. If it's something that needs to be returned, then I use a sticky note. Okay, so now you're ready to try on your own.